Cage. Dude, I got a ton of DMs, probably the most DMs I've ever had from yesterday's episode, believe it or not.
Really?
With my
Nice.
takes of LeBron James. Somebody even with the same name as me, Andrew, posted in a story. I don't think Andrew ever watches basketball.
That's great.
And I posted a thing saying "idiot" pointing to his post.
By the
And
way,
then we actually had.
Are we episode 499? Is this 499?
Yes.
Are we
Yes.
one away? Woo!
We're one away.
Luka Nation.
So I was gonna get there.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze. But I was gonna finish it right there if you would have stayed with me just till the very end.
I'll stay. Go ahead.
We had an incredible discourse. He said his points, I said mine. It was amicable, it was friendly. It's like we became friends by calling each other out. And I think that's cool. So anyway,
I have to ask you a question.
Tell me.
Did you do karate in the garage?
Wax on, wax off?
No. Like, did you make bunk beds? Because that's a terrible idea. But there's a lot more room. There's a lot of room for you to do like exercise.
Is that your favorite Will Ferrell movie?
I think it might be.
That's crazy.
I think it might be.
Easily my least favorite. Easily my least favorite is Step Brothers.
Do you know on Monday Night Football they did like a reenactment of Step Brothers? It was who did they have? I think they had
In an Eli.
No. So they did two movies. They did The Breakfast Club, and they had like a caricature, like computer CGI of Goff and Cooper Cup Breakfast Club because they get together.
This is
Fanta. So they do the Breakfast Club, and I think Goff was Judd Nelson, and Cooper Cup was Emilio Estevez. But then they did another one. They did a Step Brothers cutaway of Aaron Donald and Von Miller, and they were like becoming best friends.
They can't sleep in bunk beds.
And then
they cannot sleep.
I forget who the hell the announcers are. Maybe Theo Riddick. He's like, "Did we just become best friends?" And they're like, "Bunk beds was a terrible idea." They were doing lines from Step Brothers on Monday Night Football. It was like a dream sequence for me.
I actually came in with this topic. One time, famously, somebody said Stafford is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Who would you prefer? First off, are the Rams in trouble? Two, who would you prefer a quarterback, Tannehill or Stafford?
Well, what you saw last night is, I mean, they won't make excuses, but Woods was such a big part of that offense. And for him to go down on a Friday where they don't have a chance to work OBJ into the offense and they don't have a chance to change what they do offensively, against a really game 49ers team last night. We talked about how the 49ers was going to be Kittle and Debo in our Whatnot show. And by the way, a little Whatnot, I've said this all along. If I don't go 12-4, I go 500. And I was 6-6-1 yesterday. And it was crappy 1 o'clock, and I killed it at 3 o'clock. And while I was 6-6-1, the damn Jets scored exactly 17 points. You know what? I can hang my hat.
The over-under Jets total was 16.5. I can confirm that. I hit that.
Well, then I'd be 7-6. But I said 17 with you. I picked 3 unders this week, and all 3 came in. Can you believe that? I've never bet unders. I'm going to become a huge fan of the under now.
They're the best thing because you start out with a winner. People don't realize that. In every other scenario, you need to win the game. Under
and the
already
over I got
hits.
Wrong was the Cowboys over.
That was a fucking joke.
And I was like, what the hell? They didn't score in the fourth quarter because they had like 49 points or 46 points in the third quarter, and then no one scored. I was like, what the heck is this?
It was 42 at the half. It was 39-3.
That's crazy, but that's what happens. I mean, one team doesn't have to score anymore. That's, this is what happens. But so the Rams are not in trouble. This has been the same refrain from us every single week. P.S. I won again in fantasy. Sorry, NBT. My team is a juggernaut that cannot be stopped. And everyone laughed at me when I drafted. And they said, hey, Cage, what are you doing? Why are you drafting these people? And I don't know, guys. I don't know. I've had the second most points scored against me, and I'm still top of the league. I might have the second best record. I'm a juggernaut in the fantasy league. So the league is parity, man. It's parity. It's everything. The Bucks didn't win last week. Last week, the Bills looked like crap against the Jaguars. This week, the Bucks went out there and crapped the bed. The Cardinals last week won without Kyler, and you're like, well, they're a world beater. They're going to be the favorites. And they come out here and they're terrible without Kyler. And the Rams lose. The Ravens stunk it up. I mean, who is the elite team? And the answer is there isn't one. On any given week, any team could look elite. The Cowboys look pretty good, right? But again, they're playing against the Falcons.
How can people skip over the Packers and shutting out Russell Wilson?
Wilson, come on. Wilson, I called that game. That was my lock of the week. And Seattle didn't even score. And
It's a good feeling.
listen, all you have to do is watch the beginning of the game with Wilson coming off of a finger injury. Hasn't played in how long? And they were out there with the shovels, shoveling inches of snow off of the field and off of the seats in Lambeau. That's not a recipe for success. So I'm not going to, Russell.
I don't think he has the biggest hands either, right? Like he's kind of a shorter guy.
He's not a big dude. So, Russell Wilson had a very tough assignment. You had Rodgers coming off the COVID nonsense. He was looking to stick it to the man, Diosis. And you know what movie that's from?
No.
That's from School of Rock, Jack Black. Yeah, he comes up with a disease called stick it to the man, Diosis. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, dude, I love the NFL. It's very difficult to handicap, and it's why I'm either going to knock it out of the park or be like 500 when it's all said and done, because 500 is about where it was. I'm pretty sure that if you just bet all of the underdogs this week, you would have cashed 3/4 of your tickets. The underdogs came in like crazy this week. And look, that happens. It happens. And basketball is not like that at all, because I think what they said was yesterday, 11 games, what was it, the money line? Like all 11 of them cashed? Money line
on the favorites, yeah.
On the favorites. Sure.
But that changes night to night. It was just the matchups. Honestly, I'll tell you guys something to look out for. This Houston team is like worse than advertised. Like this is no. Well, I mean, dude, they lose every night. They got blown out by Memphis by basically 40 points yesterday. It was a 33-point game, but they looked terrible.
Yeah. How about Luka? Luka got a little injured, Dad. Did you see it?
So I was going to ask you this question. If I told you that this card had recent sales of 4,100, 4,250, 4,000, and 4,150, what card do you think it would be?
The Luka Silva PSA 10.
Yeah.
That was higher.
Maybe we did it. Maybe we didn't sell too early.
We each got about 4 G's for that.
I got 4,500 for it
at the National. I'd say
at the National.
I mean, I got three cash and a card. I think, or 3 and change cash and a card.
You got a precious metal gems for like 1,200, 1,300.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we're right around the thing. But I mean, look, that might come down. I mean, they said the test said he looked okay. He's going to be day to day. There was nothing that came up on the test on his knee. But interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. That's another one of those things we talk about. I went out there yesterday. I talked about vintage, and I also got a lot of DMs from people saying, I can't believe people need me to say this, right? But hey, it's cool to collect vintage. It's great to hear it. People need to be reminded every now and again, because sometimes you're on an island, right? And if that's what you like, it's tough, because if you're into collecting Willie Mays cards, and all you hear about is Michael Porter Jesus and the Houston team sucks, and my play today is also more modern baseball, and I'm never really giving a Willie Mays over the shoulder catch.
I hear what they're saying. They're saying,
it's nice to hear that every now and again, that there's room for me in the collecting world too.
What they're really saying is they don't get enough excitement just collecting vintage. It's really, if you read behind like what they're saying, is they want more excitement, but it could be both. Like there's not much we could talk about with Willie Mays. His legacy is set. Like, right. I think it would be cool if we created a segment where it could be kind of like something like MLB history or player history, because I think you have a huge encyclopedia in that head of yours.
I have something on baseball for you, and I want to get your reaction, because this is the problem I think with baseball. Basketball might get a little boring too now and then, but
where are your headphones? What is going on? Where are your headphones? Is this a sham? Are you pranking me?
No. Do you want me to put the headphones on?
Why are you not? Are you?
Because I read an article yesterday that said all the cool kids are wearing wired headphones now. Yeah, my wife sent it to me, because
when everyone zigs you, Zach.
All about the wired headphones, and she's like, all the cool kids, influencers are back to the wireds. No one's wearing wireless headphones. So I said, you know what? I don't want to be like them.
That's awkward.
I was the one wearing wired headphones, and now if they're gonna wear wired headphones, I'm not gonna wear headphones at all. I'm just gonna yell at my phone. So that's I will stay boomerific ahead of
if you go like this with your hands, this is how every TikTok dance starts. It's like this crocodile thing.
Crocodile? Not really.
Yeah,
some of them are like this. You see, like and then you do this with their fists like that, and then I know how I know this, because I really pay attention to that Burger King commercial. I feel so bad for the king because he doesn't have a mouth. He can't eat the double cheeseburger.
Here's the best question.
Yeah. I had a question.
Fries. Rate the fries. Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's in order.
McDonald's.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. Wendy's
Burger
fry,
King or crispier?
Wendy's fry you can have as long as you have ordered a chocolate frosty to dip the French fry in. Also, my commentary about Swedish fish yesterday got a lot of love. There are a lot of other people out there who also love Swedish fish. I'm
Swedish fish are
surprised.
incredible.
Got a lot of DMs about how much people love Swedish fish.
Who
It's the greatest
could
thing on earth.
possibly not love Swedish fish?
I don't know, man, but they have nothing to do with Sweden. I'm sorry to let everyone down on that. They have nothing to do with Sweden at all. But, so here you go. Who won the
Yes.
Rookie of the Year this year in baseball?
Randy Rosarena, who is now 28 years old.
And who else?
Vlad was a rookie last year, right?
Well, this is the point. I'm glad you didn't know the answer because I would have felt stupid if you did. But yesterday was Rookie of the Year announcement in baseball. There's other announcements today. I don't remember if it's Manager of the Year or MVP or what they're up to. I have no clue. And that's a problem because I actually like baseball. I don't know what announcements today. Jonathan India from the Reds edged out. He got 29 out of 30 first place votes, I think. Alec Baum from Philly. Had a great year, Jonathan India. Nobody cares the announcements. Why are they doing the announcements now? Baseball's over. What are they doing? It's so dumb. Come on. And Randy Rosarena, I said, Ian, Randy Rosarena he won the Rookie of the Year. And you know what Ian says? Again? Hasn't he been a rookie for 3 years? Just like you said. And he's not wrong. He's,
Why do you think they don't do it during the division series?
I don't know. They should.
They should, right?
They 100% should. While there's still some excitement and some cool stuff going on. Maybe they think this is a way to stretch the season, but I think that's dumb. No one's paying attention. No one even knows. No one knows this is awards week. No one cares. Who's going to win the MVP? Is it going to be Vlad?
Probably Trout.
Is it going to be Shohei? It's going to be Bryce Harper?
Mike Trout.
Wait, Mike
Always
Trout.
Mike Trout for the fourth time. He's a fan favorite. People love that guy.
Didn't play.
Even if he never wins, he's going to be the greatest. Wins against replacement. This guy is a king. Should we all riot if PSA comes back with $100 regular service?
No, because that's not their bulk.
Yeah, I know you love bulk. We've talked about your weight before. It's not the topic of the conversation right now.
No,
I'm talking about regular.
Riot. Why should you riot?
Because that's absurd.
If they come back at 50, I'm not using it. I'm a different PSA user. I am a bulk user, man. I am a value sub user. I'm not sending in $50, so they might as well do it 100. Because
Cage, I think that's what they discussed in the board meetings. Cage is not subbing at 50.
You know what's
so
funny? It's not. They won't say Cage, but what they'll say is, let's try it out at 100, and there will be a segment of people who get it for 100, and we'll get those in, and then in a month, if it dries up and we've hit that saturation point of the amount of people we can get to pay 100, we can drop it to 75 and tell people we've cleared the backlog.
It's funny, we had a similar conversation to their line at National, right?
Yeah.
I think that they should be held accountable, similar to how we hold other grading card companies accountable if they do come back with it at 100. Because I think it is a disservice to the hobby. Because here's why. It's not like they haven't made mistakes before, right? So there's people that we get their messages right now that have cards out and from a year ago that we subbed in for 20 days. Now, we know it's an estimate. Okay. But here we are. We're coming back a year later. So you guys have made your money. And you have not kept your word. So at least throw the hobby a bone and come back with $20 regular. Come back with $25 regular. Say, how about this? For the next year, for the next 6 months, we'll keep it at $20 regular, $25 regular.
Can I make the listening audience who loves PSA angry and go a different way? I don't think PSA should bring back. I don't think PSA should bring back a regular sub of any kind until they are caught up to 2021. If they're thinking about opening up in December, right? December 1st, then they shouldn't have any cards still to be graded that they received in 2020.
I don't think they do.
Is that not fair?
I don't think they do. I think the bulk subbers take forever to sub everything. So, if you sent your cards to the bulk subber in December, it probably, even in November, it got there in December, he subbed it January. I don't think our cards were at PSA in December.
Oh, that may very well be the case, but and you're probably right. I'm telling you, I have a sub that I sent in my own in October.
That's not graded.
They claim this was before we even started Luca Nation subs.
Yep.
Right, when I was doing my own subs before I was putting my cards in to Luca Nation subs. Right.
We appreciate all the hard work you and Ian's authentication network who reviewed the cards and said these should be graded and not. Shout out to both of you guys. That was a lot of work. Your back hurt for days.
So I mailed the things. They have it on their site as received by them October 14th, my birthday. Wow. Marked in for review on January 14th.
Wow. Exactly 3 months to the day.
39 card Pokemon sub. Modern Pokemon. 39 whole cards. Took them 3 months to log it in. Still, it's been in assembly for a month and a half. So, yeah. Stuff from November, December, whenever it got there, who knows? They might have it marked in as of February or March. I have no idea. It definitely took them a long time. And I said this in an episode recently. I think we're right now in that meat of that period where they were getting the most stuff sent in. Definitely for the next couple of months. But why open it up? Finish what you started.
I think they are going to open it up to test that $100 theory.
Because they could grade those $100 cards and make $100 to grade the same card that they were getting $8 or $10 for back in January. Those cards will languish because the markup on the newer stuff is going to be significantly more. It takes the same amount of time to grade my 39 Pokemon cards as it does to grade a regular sub right now. Okay. But that regular sub, somebody sends in 39 cards, it costs $3,900. My 39 thing cost them $300 at $8 a card.
So where I stand on this is we've been a show where it's not that we're like the police, but we call it like we see it, and it's just our opinions. It's not financial advice, and it's just strictly our opinion and our takes. But what I've seen in this hobby is this hobby holds a lot of people accountable. Maybe in a lot of cases they shoot, then aim, then fire. No, or they fire, aim, then shoot. So I might ask, is fire, aim, then shoot, is that right?
Fire and shoot is the same thing.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like when you shoot before you aim is what I've seen in the hobby. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I butcher these quotes all the time, so the people listening aren't surprised, but they know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Cool.
Right? It's like it's you leap before you look.
Sure. Yes, exactly. So my ask is, if PSA also opens up with $100 regular subs, but they're going to be backlogged again, that we should also hold them accountable because they're a business just like any other business.
How?
And they have a right to make money.
How are they going to be held accountable?
They have a right to make money, but I think that we should demand, and not demand in like the picket sign thing, is like, hey guys, do good for the hobby too. There's a lot of people that have supported you, that haven't complained, that haven't filed a business bureau, all that stuff. Do right by them. Like they've been waiting for the cards for a year and a half, and some of those cards are 30% of the value, and they sent them in, and they still have to pay the grading fee. So try to understand that not everyone's had a good year this year with cards, and do your best to give back. That's my ask of PSA and the company, because it's really, really, really important to the longevity of the hobby. And I'm worried that their decision could disenfranchise a lot of new people.
The big words.
What can you do?
Brad.
I'm not a big fan of like that whole defamation thing that happens on the internet, but I do like when people do Better Business Bureau is actually an interesting move, right? Like sending complaints to the Better Business Bureau, like, hey, I sent in my cards in October. I have not received them for 12 months, even though they advertised 20 days. I think there's something there.
I mean, here's the thing. If there's no coercion, it's irrelevant. So
okay,
unless
lawyer.
the Better Business Bureau can shut them down for not complying, that it really is just lip service.
I don't know how. You asked me how. I don't know how. I was just trying to answer your question.
No, I mean, I think there is a how for how do you hold them accountable, and it's you have to not send them cards. The only way to hold the business accountable is by not patronizing them, right?
I don't know. I have a few other topics.
I love it. Let's go. Topic time.
It's got
Look,
to the
what do you
point
think of
where
this
I'm
shirt? You see this?
I'm into fitness. Yes. Fitness this bacon into my mouth. Kind of
Fitness
gross.
bacon into my mouth. What do you think of that? I'm into fitness.
Do you buy your own shirts, or does your wife buy you?
This is from the kids. The kids
The
bought
kids
me
got
this.
you that. Nice.
The kids got me this one. They know I'm into fitness.
They know you really well.
Fitness bacon in my mouth. All right, what other topics you got?
You're like the all like. Are you? Do you realize we're a week away from Thanksgiving? I'm scheduling. I can't believe it either.
I was on a work call earlier today, and they were talking about the Christmas party. It's 2 weeks away, like our holiday dinner for our group. Our spouses, significant others are allowed. A woman in my group asked if she could bring her dog. And that's perfectly fine. I have nothing to say.
You love dogs. I think you're minting.
I am a dog.
Lazy dogs? No, cool dogs. Gotcha.
Cool
yeah,
dogs.
we're just
Guys, they're cool cats.
There's one thing you guys could count on this holiday season, and that's that we will be here every single day. I think around the holiday season, our content becomes a little bit lighter. You know, I got seasonally depressed when I lived in the Northeast. I don't know if you did. I don't want to like diagnose myself,
Dude,
but like,
I may have to change my play now. You're bringing up the holiday stuff.
What do you mean? How do you mean?
It's on my brain.
It's just
bonus play for people listening.
Tell me.
Go buy your Santa cards. Go buy your Santa Claus cards. There's Santa Claus Pro Set cards. There's Santa Claus autographs. There's Kobe Bryant wearing a Santa Claus card. Go buy your Santa cards now. People aren't looking for them yet because it's the middle of November. And you buy them now, and in literally 3 weeks, you could sell them for people who are looking to give those to card people as gifts. I'm telling you. Dude, I'm telling you. This happens
What are
every
you
year.
talking about?
You have your computer up.
Yes, I'll pull this up.
And type Santa card. I'm being dead serious.
Okay, because sometimes you don't know.
Card,
you have a great poker face.
And Kobe, you're a Kobe guy. There's a Kobe relic. He's wearing a Santa outfit, and they cut up the Santa outfit that Kobe. I'm telling you. You see it,
guys?
You see Santa cards?
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
This guy?
There it is. That's the Kobe Santa card. I told you.
It's a little bit ridiculous, no?
Why is it ridiculous? That's awesome.
Well, like they cut up his this outfit that he was wearing, and they put the Santa suit inside.
Dude, how many times did Kobe wear a Santa suit?
I mean, it can't be more than once.
There you go. Santa Kobe, cheap, $75.
But then the kids,
best offer. Look at that, not $140.
Yeah, but the kids are gonna ask, well, what happened to Santa if we have his robe?
Dude, that's
you're gonna terrify them.
Okay, so don't just do Santa Kobe. Santa Kobe I brought up because you're a Kobe nut hugger and you want to wear the sweaty Santa outfit that Kobe sweat in. I'm talking about Santa Claus cards. They're Santa autographs. I'm telling you. Take a look.
Well, that's awkward. Do you think it's Luca's mom?
Why is it awkward?
Well, think about it. Santa. Well, we have kids listening. How can Santa autograph a card?
Why not?
Wink, wink.
Does he not have hands?
Wink.
He could fly around on Christmas Eve and give every boy and girl a toy in one night. He can't sign a card one of the other 364 days a year. Of course he can. He doesn't work. He doesn't have a contract with Panini. There's no Santa redemptions. What are you talking about? There's legit Santa cards. That's a cool one too. That's Santa baseball. That's the holiday baseball. I'm talking about actual Santa Claus. Dude, you have stumbled on a fun. This was not my play. But you stumbled on a whole thing. You can really go down a rabbit hole with the Santa Claus stuff and the holiday cards. And I'm telling you, this stuff all goes up in December too. No OBS because people look for this stuff.
Well, officially, my brain is in a pretzel again.
There you go. Look what I can do for you. You're welcome.
So F1, we can't disregard F1 anymore. And here is what I'm seeing. And you guys tell me if you agree with this. F1 has become the Kentucky Derby of these social media influencers. The Logan Pauls of the world are now flying in to watch and partake in these races because they're cool. They're networking events. You get to meet a lot of interesting people. The who's is there. And the athletes, in and of themselves, are kind of like these superheroes, right? You don't know a lot about their lives, but they've become kind of these larger than life, and they're fascinating. And I'm not a Formula One guy, but here's the thing that pushed me over. You know, Formula One, it was just in Austin, record turnout. You know, it's going to Miami. Miami is going to be Formula One in May. It's going to be huge. It's going to break all records. And here's the crazy thing about Formula One. As demand for just the sport is surging globally, the supply is so little. There's not a lot out there. I know it seems like, okay, they overprinted. There's not a lot of the guys that you want to go and get. So it's a really fascinating thing that I'm seeing. I think we're just beginning to see the Formula One boom, and I think it has. I think it has staying power, at least through 1 to 2 years. I really do.
Well, that is most definitely staying power. Do you know when Lewis Hamilton started driving?
No, you're not going to do that whole thing when like people try to win arguments with like stats.
I'm not winning an argument. I'm just asking. No one heard of F1 before last year.
Yeah, but dude, here's what I understand, and here's how I handle that objection. No one heard about NFTs until last year. Just stay with me. Stay with me. No one heard about NFTs until last year. And you have this theory, Cage, that people like to be first. Not only do they want to be right, they want to be first to something. And what I'm seeing is similar to like that NFT rabid fan base, like the Jenny from the Block and Steph Sutto and these like new, young, passionate influencers. I see that too in Formula One.
Yeah.
Like they discovered the sport, sort of that kind of vibe. Not like they invented it, but like they're the ones that are first on this kind of early adopter train, so, as we saw with NFTs just a few months ago.
I'd love to tell you that you're wrong, but I don't think you are. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of things coming together for F1. I think there is a lot of, famous people getting into it. I think it's a fun enough sport for people to watch. It obviously has a face of the sport in Lewis Hamilton. And I still am not buying into it for the prices that they are. I will repeat my world famous quote that if I can get an Alexander Hamilton autograph for cheaper than a Lewis Hamilton autograph, I'm going with Alexander Hamilton every single time. So, and I put my money where my mouth is, and I bought an Alexander Hamilton autograph.
Did you really?
Of course. I had
that's framed next to your Santa Claus one.
It's sort of the same kind of like
novelty kind of thing. I don't. When it comes to like looking at price of something like that, I think it's more important to look at market cap because the pop on that is so much lower. And if you look at, okay, so you have Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT of his sport, Messi, the GOAT of his sport, go across the board. And you go to Lewis Hamilton, I don't think his pop, even though his cards are very expensive, I don't think the market cap of his cards is as high as the other greats. I don't think the market cap is even as high as Patrick Mahomes. And I would argue he's more accomplished in his sport than Patrick Mahomes is.
Okay. I mean, I agree with all of that, except to say, while the market cap is less, the collector base for NFL cards is larger, is significantly higher. And remember,
but that's changing, Cage.
Well, and you're right. And so really, the bet on F1 is not a bet on the sport. It's not a bet on Logan Paul. It's not a bet on the Kentucky Derby. The bet is that the fan base expanding will equate to an expanding collector base. And I'm not ready to buy that just yet.
It's a leap, right? I'm curious what you guys think. You're listening. Does that, I would say the right way to word that is, when does that equate, right? When does the growing demand for a sport in general lead to a growing fan base of people actually willing to invest their money in it?
Think about it this way, right? And maybe I'm the asshole for this episode, right?
I think this is one of our best. It's not the highest energy, but it's very cerebral and thoughtful.
Everybody was talking about Pokemon cards. And by everybody, I mean the inner circle of people who seem to make a lot of noise in the hobby. The people who talk a lot, the people who content a lot, the people who put a lot of shit out there. They're out there, Pokemon, 20th anniversary. Pokemon. And then Pokemon prices went up. And those people stopped talking about Pokemon. There was no more Squirtle talk. There was no more Pokemon talk. And they made their money on Pokemon and Pokemon cards, even though Pokemon is a global phenomenon. And Jeremy Padawer correctly came on and said Pokemon runs laps around every other franchise there is out there, right? I mean, it's billions upon billions of dollars, more than Star Wars, more than anything else, right? It's a huge thing. It's on Netflix. My kids love it. Blah, blah, blah. Pokemon.
Detective Pikachu.
The main people who were talking about it, I don't hear them talking about it anymore. You want to know why? Because they started talking about soccer. And then the soccer cards went up. And they started talking about buy your Bundesliga cards. Buy your Chrome. Look at Mbappe. And look at Haaland. And then go and buy your look at the Prism. Buy the World Cup Prism. And buy the Prism. And buy and buy and buy. And buy soccer. And the soccer prices went up. And the same inner circle. And you and I, we bought Pokemon after. And you and I, we bought soccer after. We were buying it from the talking heads selling it because they were ahead and they were the ones making noise and they were the ones telling us to buy it. And we said, you know what? The argument makes sense. And we were the ones they sold to after they explained how soccer was a global sport, a global phenomenon, and World Cup is coming.
They're selling us their Steve
you know
Madden.
what happened when we were buying their soccer cards on the way down? They were talking about F1 and buying F1. And F1 card prices went up. And guess what? We're buying the F1 now as they're selling it to us. Next month, early next year, quarter one of 2022, they're going to be selling you Pogs. So how many times do we have to go through the cycle? Again, maybe I'm the asshole this episode. But I just told a pretty convincing story, I think.
This is one of the best. I would call this a sparring boxing match. You know, I had a few nice jabs that landed, and they were good point. But you came right because everything you said, I'm picturing it as it's Kaepernick. I'm like, yep, Charmander PSA 10s. Yep, Squirtle first edition PSA 10s. Okay.
Squirtles.
Oh, and then Mbappe, while Cage had his cards subbed at PSA, went ballistic. Who was talking about those? Yeah, I mean, it was you. The timing of those events, it was good. And
I hope
this is a good episode.
I hope people buying F1 cards now are doing well and they make their money on F1, and they're not stuck selling on the downslope to get into Pogs. Now, half of you guys are going to look up what Pogs are. Let me tell you something. Pogs were a global phenomenon. I never understood it. I was a little
bigger than Crazy Bones. Bigger than Crazy Bones.
Pogs were like these little discs.
Yeah,
and you threw a metal one down, and they flipped over, and I was too old. I just saw kids in card stores stop opening cards and do Pogs instead. It was the weirdest thing in the world.
We played them at lunch, on the lunch table. Do you have a play? I have a play, but mine came from an audience member, so mine's quick. So
my play is now the sweaty Kobe Santa Claus suit.
Why is it sweaty? Because it's just like there's a really hot day.
I'll be right back in a second. Did you see the picture?
Yeah, I pulled it up.
Doesn't he look sweaty?
I
mean, he looks sweaty in the picture. I mean, he does look sweaty. I mean, it's probably a sweaty suit. Have you ever worn a Santa Claus suit?
Never, dude. I grew up Jewish. You know that.
Well, I have. And I guess that's not a very good argument because no matter what I wear, I'm sweaty. So, but I have definitely been sweaty in a Santa Claus suit.
That's where we're kindred spirits. So we did a post, best Michael Jordan cards under $500, which was kind of cool. Cool post. It was piggybacked on your Metal Universe card.
What?
And it rose a question. So the card is the 1990 Skybox, first year Skybox in a PSA 10. Okay.
Cool card.
$200, $250, $275. And the guy said the pop is going up quickly. And it's interesting, right? Like when you see pop of the population of the graded Jordan cards go up, it's as much of a tell, okay, supply is going to increase, but demand is increasing too in that card, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes when pop increases, that's actually a good sign for a card, right? It means people have taken notice and there's a trend on that card. You have to time it because it's a little dangerous. What do you think of that? Like, that card, first year Skybox.
Love the card. I think it's cool. It's one of those cool cards where art started to play. Like people talk about PMGs. That card is like crazy. It has this like cool color scheme to it. It's got like a brownish kind of background, like almost like a chromium type of brown. And it's got these like sky, it's like it has like an outer space type of feel to it in the backdrop and stuff. I remember opening those as a kid with my younger brother, thinking these are cool. Like, these are a cool card. Of course, Jordan was a sick one with him dunking with the colors in the background, the ball. They put like a fire. Yeah, there it is.
It kind of reminds me of NBA hoops and NBA hoops gold.
Yeah, I mean,
That's where I go with it.
It's just a cool card. There are a lot. I think if I were under $500 and you're looking for another Jordan one, I would go with one of the Olympic ones.
The whole set, right? Like the Barcelona set?
That Barcelona 3 card, or I think 91 Skybox might have had, an Olympic set. 92 Skybox definitely did the Barcelona set. That I have a bunch of those. There's a Christian Laettner in the set, which is pretty funny because it's kind of like, yeah. So that's a cool one there. And believe it or not, I traded for one at the National. One of our listeners, I traded for an SGC 10 of that. And the card looks really cool in an SGC holder. A card like that, I mean, I like that for the price. That's a cool card, He's wearing a different jersey. Obviously, Jordan wore a different. They didn't wear 23 for the Olympic team. And you got the stars and stripes. And, it's a cool looking, America.
Take us home.
2016 Topps Chrome. Corey Seager, card number 150. 2016, what is that? Worst team of all time. And yet
Dude, they literally are. They're so bad. They're so bad if you guys watch them play.
I mean, so they'll get another good draft pick. I mean, what can you do? So
I'm just saying, people bet on the NBA. That's an amazing team to fade for, until they fire their coach or something big happens.
Corey Seager, 2016 Topps Chrome card number 150, PSA 10, selling for $50-$60 this week, right? I believe now more than ever he will be the Yankees signing, not Carlos Correa. I don't know whether or not the Yankees put this in the paper themselves to sour the fan base or what the story is, but a huge story broke there. It was all over Bleacher Report and whatnot. Carlos Correa says Derek Jeter did not deserve his Gold Gloves.
He's not the first one who said that.
And you know what? What's funny about it is,
I'm not a baseball fan. I know that.
Jeter is not a great fielder. But you know what I want you to do? What's funny about this, because it's a narrative, right? I want you to go back and tell me who was second place in the years where he won it. Because people don't realize this, right? Omar Vizquel won like 10 in a row. And then he retired. And Omar Vizquel was Hall of Fame, great defensive guy. Alex Rodriguez was there. He wasn't really playing shortstop anymore. And then Jeter won, and he won a bunch of years, like 3-4 years in a row, and then won again later in his career. It's not that he was a great defense. He made good plays, and he was an average to above average. There was no one in the American League playing shortstop for a team that was a good defensive shortstop. It was really the award was watered down because of who there was. Remember, it's given by every position.
Well, I was just gonna say, you know what?
Go ahead.
The Gold Glove Award reminds me of the Panini Prism Parallels.
Sure. But I'm telling you, the last time he won it, the closest competitor was Alexei Ramirez. Have you ever heard of him? Does he stick out in your brain as somebody?
There needs to be a Gold Glove for the infield, Gold Glove for the outfield, Gold Glove for the catcher. No AL.
It's always been done.
No AL-NO. Why AL-NO have two different Gold Glove winners? Like they can't just have the best.
And in most of the time he played, the better fielding shortstops were in the National League, and there were just not very good shortstops in the American League.
It's one league. It's the same league.
Anyway, so that's the point. Is not this argument. We could spend an entire episode on that argument. And what's funny is I actually tweeted about this today as a Yankee fan. I don't think it's wrong. Jeter was not a great fielder. That's not what he's known for. But if you look at the years he won, there's nobody else you were going to give it to. You can make an argument for Alexei Ramirez, but it's not like, oh, wow, Nomar should have won it. It wasn't Nomar. It wasn't like Vizquel was playing anymore. Take a look at the people playing shortstop in the American League while Jeter was winning those awards. There's no one, dude. There's no one. So saying he's the Gold Glove winner, it doesn't mean he's a great fielder. It just means he's the best of the bunch that was there.
It just means the award's so stupid. Another one of the things that
in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Yeah, it never made sense. You've said that to me before.
Why does it not make sense? If you're blind, you can't see anything. At least with one eye, you can see something. That doesn't make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of discriminatory that somebody who's blind can't become a king. What kind of?
That's not
kind
the
of-
point.
I take offense.
Use the guy
I'm
with
gonna
one
tweet
eye.
this. I'm
He's
gonna
gonna
tweet
be
this
their
and see if
leader.
it
He's
catches
gonna
on.
show them where to go. Whatever. I don't even care. I'm not. You and sayings are not friends. That's clear. We've made
Yeah, but dude,
499 episodes in.
He might just lead him in a circle. Think if you have one eye, it's just
You're right. He may just leave us. Corey Seager. So Correa coming out and saying this quote might be like 8 years old. Who the hell knows? And it comes out like the day that free agency is open. And everybody go out. Yankees open the wallet, sign Carlos Correa. But wait, he's taking pot shots at the great Yankee Derek Jeter. To me, there's something there, right? Whether they are not going to sign him. And I noticed this today, really quick. At one point today, Carlos Correa on Twitter added a tiger to his profile. Right? You could search this out. Just right in Twitter, Correa Tiger. Not a Lucas Tiger. We're working on that. I sent him a message. I wanted to buy. He doesn't. I told him he can mint one and get one for free, and so can you guys. Okay. He doesn't get special treatment because he's just a cheater. Okay. But he could buy one and get one free, just like everybody else. He doesn't get a free one. But he put a tiger next to his name on his Twitter profile and then took it off. Is he giving a hint? Because I think he's signing with the Detroit Tigers. I've been saying that since the beginning. I think he signs with the Tigers.
for the money.
I think Seager signs with the Yankees. And I think when that happens, that card goes from the $60 it's at now to $100 card the week of the signing. All right. So that's my play. I don't even think you need to hold it into the season. I think, signing with the Yankees is a big thing. Everybody wants, the guys who were on the Yankees and who's on the Dodgers already. I think Seager will be one of their bigger signings. I heard they had an offer on the table of Verlander, by the way, which is interesting. They're just going to sign.
Let me ask, how much more money? Let's say you're a sought-after free agent.
Uh-huh.
You could go anywhere you want. How much more money would you have to get paid to go to Detroit?
I like
Or
Detroit,
any-
man. You don't like
or-
Motown? You don't like a little Motown?
Well, I mean, like, let's say if you could go play in Florida for the Marlins,
Mhm.
Yankees, Tigers, or Dodgers.
Mhm.
Same money. Where would you go?
Florida, no state tax.
Good climate too. Have anything to
I'm
do
all
with it?
about the Benjamins, man. You're saving some money. So
So
California's
let's
got a
say,
huge state tax.
let's say you made 15 mil more in Detroit a year. Would you go to Detroit over Miami?
Dude, I'm not a good ball player. If Detroit gave me a bucket of chicken more, I'd go there. I mean, I can't answer this question.
So you don't think
I don't make
you-
millions. We got some good sponsors, but no one's paying me $15 million.
Would you go live in Detroit if they did?
It depends. If any sponsor wants to talk about how much it would take for them to sponsor me to go move to Detroit for some reason, I don't know why any sponsor would want me to be in Detroit, but I'd have that conversation. I don't mind. So as a ball player, $15 million, I probably would move to Detroit more. But
Fair.
it depends. Are we talking about a $250 million contract?
I think he's probably looking at that, right?
You know,
Correa is.
if it's $2 million a year, I don't think I'd take that. Not at all. Especially Florida. Like I said, there's no state tax. You'll make that back in the taxes.
What about just like your mood? Like it's like fucking crummy weather.
Do you think
Does that
everyone in Detroit is miserable? Is that really your
Yeah.
thought? You
No,
think
except for
Yesterday
Putnam,
you went
he
into
owns a
Detroit.
CryptoPunk.
Today it's Detroit.
No, Putnam's good. Putnam owns a CryptoPunk, so he's set. Anyone who owns a CryptoPunk is immune to Detroit. Everyone else is. I think Eminem's probably having a great time. Can't imagine he still lives there.
He was on 8 Mile still. Be Rabbit. Be Rabbit. Be Rabbit. You'll lose yourself. It's a good time, Be Rabbit. Be Rabbit.
We kind
All
of
right,
covered
well,
everything.
Seager's
Are
the
you going to
play.
give your Corey Seager 1990 Skybox that kind of looks like a Hoops Gold card with a Jordan PSA 10 is $275, and sweaty Kobe Bryant Santa suit.
It's not just
And-
sweaty Kobe Bryant. Santa Claus cards. Santa stuff for the holidays, man. People like
Yeah,
that.
but
stocking
what
stuff.
brand Santa Claus? Like,
There's
Net
a Pro
Pro?
Set Santa Claus card.
Pro Set?
Just go on eBay for a second and type Pro Set Santa. But you didn't find, if you just type Santa cards of Santa Claus didn't come up?
Oh,
All right. Well, maybe people are buying them early this year. Maybe the off-season buying. has-
well, no, that's a holiday card. Like, you're gonna get like Hallmark cards if you search Santa card. Have you ever
Yeah,
searched on
probably
eBay?
right. That's why you have to learn how to sort. Put it into collectibles, not in Hallmark.
Ah,
You're in the wrong.
Like
category.
this one.
There you go.
This It's a kind of a cool card.
Pro Set Santa Claus. You found it. See, and that's a PSA 10. Cool card.
Look at this guy's hairdo.
I mean, that's Santa. He's got a hat on. He's got a little
No,
Pro
not
Set.
Santa. Look at this guy.
Well, your thing is, I have like a spinny circle. Spinny circle time. Spinny
You
circle.
can't see anything?
No, I see the Pro Set Santa Claus card with a spinny circle. Now I see me. I am a gorgeous man. So I can look
The
at
guy
me
in the
like
window looked like you. That's what I was trying to show you.
that. The guy in the window?
Yeah. So that's another
There's a lot
episode,
of
guys.
Santa Claus cards, guys.
There they are. We're doing a little giveaway. All you have to do is join our Discord. The reason we're asking you to join our Discord is we've consolidated our Instagram groups into one general location where it makes it easier. We had like 20 Instagram groups. So join our Discord. We're giving away a LeBron card, a Lucas European sticker, really tough grade, and a Tyler Hero PSA 10. And that's from my end because I'm a broke MFer. Cage probably will have more things to give away. So we'll see. But we're going to do the rest of the giveaways in the Discord. Make sure to join.
What do you think? Should I post something tonight with a giveaway? What should we give away?
Only
I'll
do
come up with
giveaways in the Discord.
I'll come up with something. I'll post it on Instagram and make the giveaways in the Discord. No problem. Come over and join the Discord, guys. Because
It makes me feel like
$4.99.
kind of like a little bit slutty. Not gonna lie, like putting out for that kind of stuff. But
What's
whatever.
slutty?
Like giveaways kind of make me feel like a whore.
Well, I mean, own it, man. I mean, own it. That's not it. We're just, we're doing giveaways. We love Luca Nation. What do you got there?
This is from our 5 a.m. hoops. When I lived in New York, we had this crew, like 30 of us, and we would wake up, play ball 5 a.m.
Listen,
Good guys. That's where I met Gary.
today is actually my mother's birthday.
Is that right? Oh,
She does not
stop.
listen to this
Why
show.
did you bring this up?
She does not listen to the show. So it's a waste for me to say happy birthday, but happy birthday, Mom. Yeah, I mean, she don't listen to the show. She would not be proud. I am not a doctor. And this show is not getting me any closer to becoming a doctor. So it's just not, there's nothing here that's to be proud of. But happy
It's
birthday,
pretty
Mom.
hilarious.
Yep.
Usually it's doctor or lawyer, like Jewish
No, I
parents.
said lawyer. Why not a doctor? Yep. Law school, no good. Law school, no good. Why not a doctor? All right.
Well, because you birthed me and I don't have the personality of a doctor.
Yeah, the doctor.
Imagine you as a doctor.
I'm telling you why. I'm a lawyer because my parents got divorced. And I sat through that. And every time the lawyers walked out of the room laughing and high-fiving each other, and my family walked out of the room all in tears, and I said, I want to be a lawyer. These guys are making money out of misery. These guys can make money out of anything. Let's go. Law school. I'm going right now. Sign me up. So that's the story. There's the genesis.
All you guys with young kids, listen to that story on repeat and realize the responsibility you have.
It's very
The
true.
kids are so impressionable.
I'm being dead serious, man. The lawyers walked out of the room like they were high-fiving. They were thrilled because the billing was getting going. Families getting torn apart. We're figuring out who gets custody of who. Everybody's crying except the lawyers. I'm like, I know what I'm going to be when I get
Here's
older.
what I know. Her eldest son turned out pretty great. He's a great father. He has 2 amazing kids. The youngest brother is fucking awesome too. He's on our whatnot shows. He's always buying stuff. He's got a ton to say. He's not a big fan of me. He's like playing that little brother
He
role.
likes you. He won a huge Pokemon card from Vintage Pokemon.
He
won
took
a
it from
huge,
Max
like
the
a
Poke
$5,000
Kid.
Charizard for free, like a free giveaway. Just insane. I don't know. He's a lucky bastard, but it is what it is.
He's
I love
6'9" and he could dunk apparently. I've never seen him.
He's 6'7", and I don't think he can dunk.
So we have our 5-on-5 team. So it's me, you, your brother, Manny, and actually we don't have a fifth. We need
You know what I bring to the table in basketball?
Pick
I
and
got
rolls?
6 full foul teams.
You're kind of like a Draymond. Who do you have tonight? Nets, Warriors. Probably one of the best games of the season. I'm very much looking forward to this game.
It's a liger. It's pretty much my favorite animal. So this is probably one of the best games of the season. Do you know what the movie that's from? The liger, but pretty much my favorite animal. Who do I have
Ace
tonight?
Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Very close. It's Napoleon Dynamite. I think the Nets win. I think that what you're going to see tonight is that as good as the Warriors are, they don't have an answer for Durant.
I agree with you, Cage. I think Curry's the best offensive player in the league, or you could argue 1 and 2 with Durant. People underestimate how good Durant is defensively. He's a problem.
The
He's
all-around
7
game
foot
is
tall.
amazing.
He's a problem, and I would say
I was not a
Durant-
Durant believer. I've watched more games this season with Durant. I watched games last season with Durant. I mean, after coming back from the Achilles, he can still elevate. He can still cut. He plays really good defense. He doesn't really take plays off. It's very different than watching, say, LeBron. You know, and maybe
I
it's,
know.
you know, maybe it's he's hungry to go out there and get his title. I don't know, but I was not a Durant believer. Every time I watch Durant, I'm more of a Durant believer. But anyway, we could talk about that. It's an episode for another time also, but I think the Nets win tonight.
I think so too, man. And I'm surprised how low the line is because this Nets team, they're not the same team as last year. And you got to give Steve Nash a little bit of credit because it's not easy blending Blake Griffin, Patty Mills, Harden, Durant. I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge. These are all veterans. These are all number one players on teams. And to get them to buy in and play defense, they're a really good defensive team. And that's what set them up. Because last year, watching them play, they were putting up 130, 140, but the other team was too.
I want
Now
LaMarcus Aldridge to do well. I have his Panini Digital 1/1 gold vinyl.
Me too. Me
You
too.
do not have his 1/1 gold vinyl. There's only one of them.
No, I do. I have a lot of his cards, is what I mean. I don't buy the super fractor packs because I'm not a sick F. All right, Luca Nation.